Connie with SimplySimpleStamping.com. Have I got a flashcard for you? This is like nothing I've ever done before, and I am absolutely thrilled with how the card turned out. Check that out. Can you see that window sheet going on there? Super cool. But let me show you how this works. Let me show you what goes on inside. So because you might be looking and go, hey, but how can you write inside the card? Look at this. You have an extra panel, and that's where you write your message to your friend. Isn't that fantastic? Guys, this is super easy to do. I promise you. Let's get started with our card. So to create our card today, we're going to be starting with a piece of Tempting Turquoise as our card base. I have mine cut at 11 inches by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. So this is going to fit into a Stampin' Up! Medium-sized envelope. And then my flashcard pieces today are Melon Mambo and Whisper White. All right, let's go ahead and do the cutting that we need to do on our card base. And I'm going to be using my Stampin' Trimmer. And remember, guys, the Stampin' Trimmer has a light blade and a dark blade. The light blade is for scoring. Let's push that up and out of the way. We want the dark blade because we'll be doing cutting. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put my cardstock in the length going down. I'm going to bring it over to the 3/4 inch line here, the measurement, and that is going to be off to my right. And what I want to do is I want to bring my cutting blade to the 4 3/4. Can you see there's a ruler right here? I've got a little tick mark on the blade. I'm going to bring it over to the 4 3/4 inch mark, and I'm going to cut upwards to the 3/4 inch mark, just like so. We're going to repeat that on the other side of our cardstock. So 4 3/4. And bring it up to the 3, come on a little bit more, Connie, there we go, 3/4 inch mark. Now I can just put this in. You can see I've got it lined up right there on the 3/4 inch mark. But now I can use that previous cut line and the blade. It's actually 3 1/2, and then of course cutting up to the 3 3/4. And for this side here, we're going to bring this over to the 4 3/4 inch right here. Make sure I've got that in the camera angle there. So 4 3/4 here off to the left. And I can just give that a cut. This should pop right out. Oh, good, it did pop right out. I was going to say, if you didn't, you might have to get in there with a pair of snips or something, but it looks like we're good to go. Now, at this point, if you want to emboss the cardstock, you can do that now. I'm going to be using the decorative dots. And guys, we just want to put it in and line those dots up with the score line that we have on our card. Make sure we've got it centered from side to side. We're going to go run that through the Big Shot. All right, so there it is all embossed. That looks awesome. Let's set this off to the side while we work on our stamping. Now, guys, I did do this in advance. Let me show you the stamp set we're going to use today is Watercolor Words. This has become one of my new fast favorites. It's just fantastic. We've got 6 different sentiments and 5 different images. It's a beautiful watercolor look. And so what I did is I took the 2 large flowers and the small. I stamped in Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight, and Pumpkin Pie. Now, again, just to save some time, we're just going to cut those flowers out like so. So there are my flowers. They're all ready to go. And now let's come in with the, whoops, let me bring it in, the Melon Mambo. I'm going to bring my Stampin' Trimmer back in, and now we're going to use the scoring blade. That's the lighter one. And I want to just come over to the 1/4 inch mark. I'm going to give that a little score. And that is going to be the area that's going to give us the little flip. So we can just fold that over there. Let me go ahead and bring in my card base. And guys, I'm going to bring in also a silicone mat because we have a very narrow area. Pardon me as I reach. I need to get my fast fuse. And so we're going to put fast fuse just right here on this end. So I'm going to lay my cardstock in this area. And you can see, let me slide it down. You can see I've got a little bit kind of here on each side, but I'm actually going to line up my score line with that area of the frame. So you can see I'm just kind of setting it in there. We're gonna flip this around. I'm not gonna press real hard yet. Press there. But now that I'm happy, I'm sure I'm good and centered, I can give that a press. That's where my little next message can go. All right, so now we are going to come in. We've got that done. Now we're going to come in and adhere the window sheet to the card. Guys, my favorite method for that has got to be 6 mini glue dots. I just take my window sheet and I press each corner onto a mini glue dot. This works awesome, I'm telling you. Then what we're gonna do is on the long sides, let's go ahead and put a mini glue dot just right there, just to make sure we don't lose it. Okay, like so, pretty easy. Let's open up our card. And guys, really this you can see right through of where it's gonna go. My window sheet, by the way, is 3.5 by 4 3/4 inch. We're just gonna give those glue dots there a little press. That looks awesome. Let's go ahead. We're actually going to go ahead and add our stamps, and we're going to stamp our sentiment. We're going to make that the very last thing we do. Now, when I adhere these, I'm going to do them with Stampin' Dimensionals. But here's the thing, guys. I don't want any dimensional on my window sheet. I don't want that showing through on this side. So I'm going to put a dimensional here and a dimensional here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere my flowers. Again, we want to make sure it's going to stay inside the card area, so you want to kind of play with that. We're going to get one more dimensional here on our last flower. And then this one you can kind of use, just fill it in wherever you see fit. How about right there? Awesome, it's looking great. Now let's come in with the white Stays On ink pad, and we're going to go ahead and stamp this card. I decided to make this one a happy birthday. So I'm going to ink this up in the white Stays On. Well, I found out I needed a little more ink on my ink pad. Typically, you do have to re-ink the Stays On each time, but don't worry about it because when you buy it, it actually comes with the refill, so you're always good to go. All right, I have that stamped. And guys, it's going to be very simple, but we have one shot at this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring my happy birthday in. Ooh, I'm just barely going to miss those flowers. I should have thought that through a little bit better when I changed my sentiment. We're going to stamp it, press straight down. Guys, it's going to want to kind of shift around on you. It's going to want to slide. That window sheet is slick. So be very careful and lift straight up. Ta-da! There we go. Is that not the cutest? Now, I also wanted to mention, now that I have stamped with that white Stays On, I want to immediately get over to either some baby wipes and scrub that off really quick. I personally just like to go to my kitchen sink, a little bit of Dawn dish soap, and a scrub brush will get all that off. Don't get me wrong, you don't have to be there in seconds, but don't wait too long. We do want to get that white Stays On because they call it Stays On for a reason. Now this does need to dry, guys. Have to let that dry. At this point, once it's dry, you're going to be able to write your sentiment to the happy birthday person. And you can put that right there, but you can see it's hidden from the window sheet. Guys, let me go ahead and bring in my You're the Best. That is a really awesome flashcard. I hope that you enjoyed that card. It was kind of fun to change it up from the You're the Best and the soft, subtle colors into some bright colors. Guys, I love this card. I really hope you'll give this one a try. Those window sheets are fantastic. They really are. And there's one place you can get them, simplysimplestamping.com. I've got an online order button right there on the website. It's in the upper right-hand corner. Just click it. We'll get everything you need. Just I've got a complete supply list there. I really try to make it super easy for you. So be sure to check it out, simplysimplestamping.com. Now, if you also love the idea of flashcards, but you just don't like doing cutting, I understand. I kind of feel the same way. But guess what? We have flashcards to go. What? Yes, everything is all cut. It's scored. The cardstock's ready. The flashcard pieces are ready. How fantastic is that? You can find that at simplysimplestamping.com. Just look in the pink menu bar. You're going to see flashcards to go, and that's where you can check that out. Guys, thanks so much for being a part of the flashcard series. I love sharing with you. Have a terrific day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.